Carolina Senator Ted Budd joins us now. Senator, thank you so much for joining us. So much to get to with you because what happened to your state is catastrophic. But first, what is your reaction to the president there, who appeared confused about what storm the reporter was referring to after touring the damage and saying that everybody is getting what they need?
Look, that's not what I'm seeing. We've been in all these counties and we're continuing to go back. And this is really not the time for political grandstanding. But you see so many misappropriated funds, things that should have been solved a long time ago. When you see $1.4 billion set aside for housing people who are here illegally, and then you've got people in 25 North Carolina counties that aren't getting what they need. We're seeing slow response from the top. We're seeing National Guard that's ready, 82nd Airborne that's ready, that's been given make-ready orders, but yet they aren't allowed to come. They haven't been given clarity. So look, this is about getting people here, getting them in position, and there are certain needs in the western part of the state. I mean, you may not know till you get there, but we need all hands on deck, all working together, and stop with this crazy social agenda we've seen for 3.5 years from the Biden-Harris administration.
Yeah, I mean, look, leadership is showing up. That's a very important part of it. But it's also using the government to do things for the people that they can't do for themselves. Fight wars, negotiate with foreign nations, and also respond in the face of a tragedy like this. Does that overall approach to what government really is supposed to be seem lost on the Biden-Harris administration?
It does. When you ask government to do too much, when it's time for the critical things, like fighting those wars or like doing the major disaster relief, it's not ready. It's slow. It's cumbersome. It's bureaucratic and calcified. And that's what we're seeing right now. But what you do see is the private volunteers, the citizens, these people with private helicopters or Samaritan's Purse or Baptist on Mission or American Red Cross. They are here. They are ready. They're getting right to work. You know, when you look at North Carolina, American Red Cross has a scale of 1 through 7, 7 being the absolute worst. When they got here, they called this maybe a 4 or 5. When they got on the ground, they said this is a 7. So this is the worst they've seen. If you're from North Carolina, you remember Hurricane Floyd 25 years ago and all the 30 inches of water in eastern North Carolina. Before that, you remember Hurricane Hugo and the devastation that started from Charleston and went to our mountains. This is a combination of those two. It's the speed of the winds of Hugo plus the water of Floyd dumped in our mountains, eastern Tennessee, here in North Carolina. It's like nothing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But to see Christian groups, faith groups come together, private citizens, it's absolutely phenomenal, and I want to express gratitude to them.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you did. They deserve infinite gratitude for the good work that they're doing. We spoke to somebody who lived in the impacted area and said it's not just the buildings that are gone, it's the ground under the buildings that have been washed away. Spoke to another person yesterday whose uncle died after clinging to a tree for 7 hours, 75-year-old veteran, and he was washed away by that storm as well. And earlier this week, Senator, DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas said that FEMA does not have enough money to get through hurricane season. Former President Trump was asked about that yesterday. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Well, they're doing a very bad job. They've given over $1 billion to illegal migrants that came in, and now they have no money for North Carolina, for Georgia, for South Carolina, and Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida. I think that's a disgrace. This is a country that's being run by fools.
It's a political point, but is it a good one?
You know, the problem of misallocating funds is absolutely legitimate. $1.4 billion that, you know, when they say they don't have enough money for hurricane season, let's use it for citizens. Let's use it for North Carolinians, Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida. That's what we need it for. We don't need it for those who are here illegally. Do we want to help people? Absolutely. But let's focus on U.S. citizens, people who are obeying the law, that are paying their taxes, that are doing the right thing, and they need their government to step up when they're in need. 100%. And that's not happened yet.
Amen.